Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you haven't had a chance to do so by now, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And to go a step further, I humbly ask that you tap that notification bell. That way, you'll be updated each and every time I'm uploading something new. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram at YB Speaks. Hello, God. I apologize. I had to reschedule the live, and then I'm still late. Time is never on our side. I don't know why. We don't ever really get that. I was at the gym. I thought I was calculating everything perfectly. You end up getting lost in the sauce, child. Before you know it, time has gotten away from you. Had to run a couple quick errands before I made it back to the crib. But, child, nonetheless, we are here. Okay. Hello, God. hmm Hopefully, everybody is doing well this week. So far, so good. If you caught my video I posted yesterday, you'll know how I've been. And I got the estimated completion for my apartment being done, and it's not looking good. Probably another week. So this bullshit will be bleeding off into my time off. But I'm not going to allow it to affect me on that level. Again, I'm getting in that space as I get older. I just don't give a fuck no more. So I'm just going to roll with the punches and do what I got to do, work with what I got, and just keep it moving, girl. Like, there will always be room, hello God, time and space and energy to vent about these things. Hello God, because I just love to cuss. I love to vent. And, I love keeping the girls updated on the tea, honey, okay? Period. The weather down here is abnormally cold, rainy, dreary, weary, and I'm just not here for it because it's really working my nerves. Um, I really just think it's just lack of sleep and like peace. My schedule has been messed up lately because of all this stuff going on with my apartment, and you know, I my body, my mind, spirit and soul have a schedule that we've been maintaining for a very long time, and this kind of interruption in my life has definitely pissed off my spirit. Okay, but again, I'm trying to deal with it. Okay. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. I appreciate it. Um, y'all know why we are here, honey. Okay, we know why we are here today. All right, and deception, disgrace, deception, disgrace. Let's add a little gospel tune towards the end. Yes. Ooh, Markel, you might be right, honey. Markel says, you know what? I was thinking the other day, you have so many new supporters. I don't think they know what YB stands for. The originals do. But does the chat, do y'all know? Girl, drop that in the comments, girl. Do y'all know what YB actually stands for? Hello, guys. Do y'all know what YB stands for? Because, many moons ago, I had to switch it up. As the advice of counsel was like, girl, if you want to be palatable, and especially back then, YouTube's terms and conditions were very strict, and they would shadow ban the girls, honey, for having like inappropriate names or inappropriate titles, inappropriate thumbnails, inappropriate hashtags. Girl, like there was just so much, binding the girls, you know. Oh yeah, really B had to do the same thing. She was actually the one who gave me the advice, actually. So shout out to Really B for giving me the advice. And me being young and stubborn back then, I really wasn't trying to be moved in that because I always wanted to bring that shock and awe kind of value to my platform. But then I thought about it, it makes sense. And two, I don't really like long names. You want things to be kind of simple for people. That way they can search for you. But since I don't see it in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and say it. My original name before changing it to YB was Yes Bitch TV, honey. Yes Bitch TV. YASSS Bitch TV, honey. Hello, God. That was the name, honey. Hello. That's what it was. This is Markel is here. Shout out to Markel and his husband, Robert. Their podcast is everything. They just had an episode drop. I believe it was Tuesday. Um, they've been very consistent doing their thing, honey. Just the early cute announcement just to get the girls' gears going. You know, I will be furthering my interview journey this year. And my first interview for the year will be Markel, Hello God, and Robert Coleman. They will be joining me as soon as we can get our schedules cleared. And they'll be up here, child, serving truth and justice. We're going to get into all the things of those things as it relates to the podcast, the relationship. Because if you don't watch their podcast, shame on you. It's really funny, it's really entertaining, really informative. They get into the things of all those things. And I think it's just a pure genuine representation of like how relationships should be, whether you are homo, whether you are heterosexual. Like that level of confidence, trust, and connection, and just the ability to laugh um on even the most serious of topics that probably would tear up most relationships. So y'all got to get into the things of those things, honey. And B, stay tuned for that announcement when we're able to, bring you guys that lovely piece of interview, child, and conversation piece. Okay, I definitely look forward to it, and I appreciate them for being willing to come onto the platform and, get that Barbara Walters treatment, bitch. Period. What happened? I'm still on you cleaning out before toys and topping. I ain't never heard that. I'm one of those people because, like, first of all, no one wants a mess. Once I smell, feel any type of level of disgust, it's not enjoyable for me anymore. And I'll be damned if I am a dirty cunt and I'm using a toy on myself and I'm just pushing poo in and out of myself and then getting whatever surface I'm sitting on or laying on or bent over on, girl, hello, God, dirty. That's a no bueno for me, honey. Like, I believe in cleanliness through and through. And definitely as a top, like, everybody want to eat some ass nowadays. Everybody always asking to play in some ass. So I want to be prepared. And because I have the bottom nature in me as well, I will never object to someone wanting to play in my ass while I'm topping them. And just for like cleanliness purposes, like you just want to make sure you're good through and through. Okay, period. Because sometimes I might have the bottoms, put toys in me. So I want to make sure that, you never know. In the words of Scar Child, just be prepared. Okay? Be prepared because you never know what kind of night you're going to have, especially for me, since I don't have a significant other. I don't know what the things are the things. So I say, you know what? Let me just, if I'm going to boldly go, I need to be prepared. Period. Period. Just be clean. Now, I'm not going to lie. I don't do a rigorous cleaning if I'm planning on topping that day or weekend or week or whatever. It's good enough. You know what I'm saying? But definitely when I feel like I'm going to be inserting things and I'm going to be playing the bottom role or even the versatile role, whatever, I want to make sure that I am definitely clean. Because to paint, to be filthy, is an egregious crime against humanity. And you should be flogged in the streets of life, gagged, tagged, hell of God, and thrown in the trash. Period, honey, okay? But, girl, we are here, honey, because we have to get into some things, girl. So, my opinion, my perspective, y'all know the way I come at a lot of these things, girl, has been summoned Um, I want to shout out to Harviana, the Queen Wilson, honey, hello God. If you look in the freezer, there's a drink. Um, she's been hosting several lives this past week, getting into the things of all those things. And it's unfortunate that, most of the things that have been going on and have, sparked a lot of controversy is, the relationship between, her and Moose Carcass. And, well, I was in and out because, again, a lot of things that I've been dealing with the apartment, it's a lot of noise, it's loud. I haven't been able to hop on the way I want to hop on. So I was like, let me just come down here and give my own thoughts and my opinions because a lot of people in these chats and these lives that have been taking place were hashtagging so YB was right. YB is right. So YB wasn't, lying or spilling filth and foolishness and bile and lies and deceit and deception, disgrace, darling. YB was right. And you know what? I don't like to be right in matters of this. I may not see it for Moose Carcass. I may not see it for a lot of these cunts out here. But if I have a friend or an associate that is involved with these people on a business or even a personal level, both, your experience with them, I want it to be the best. All jokes aside, all shade aside, I don't ever want people to have to go through what I've went through with certain people in this space. I would like for you to have a better experience than I have and other people have had. I'm rooting for your relationship to be the best. I'm here for everyone having their own friendships and social groups and people who, are they're around. You know what I'm saying? Um, but because of certain people like Moose Carcass and others, history has proven that they cannot be trusted. History has proven that your friendship or your connection with them runs as deep as the opportunity runs. Once they have used you, once they have dried you out, child, like an old nasty piece of tobacco leaf, girl, ready to roll you up and smoke you, girl, hello gone, you're done. And you're just left as a roach in someone's ashtray, waiting to be smoked by a crackhead. No, ma'am, Pam. Um, I will say this I want to talk about the pineapple healthcare situation. Because I was trying to listen to the live at the gym to kind of get, a bit of understanding on what the tea really is. And of course, me and Harviana have had our own conversation. Um, this is what I surmise, child. You mad because Harviana went a step further and made contact with these people. People are upset because they feel as if it wasn't her business to go down that rabbit hole of deception, disgrace, and fraudulence. Okay? But let's be real. If all roads, you remember what I tell y'all, child, since y'all love to say YB was right, I will tell you all roads lead back to that legendary Kiki panel live where all was exposed. All truth was revealed onto the bitch, period. What did I tell y'all to do? Go back and watch and listen. Listen to the voice deep in. What'd you say? What did Beyonce say, girl? Listen, I am alone at a crossroads. I am not home in my own home. And I tried and tried to say what's on my mind. You should have known. God, let me tell you. Dream girls. Curtis was supposed to love me. Shout out to Rico Caswell, girl. Anyway, um, that live exposed a lot. Moose Carcass, Platypus Face, and not really Zach too much, but it was really Moose Carcass and Platypus who said a lot without saying a lot that led me to the real understanding of what was really happening here. And, you know, I feel good in my spirit because I don't need validation from nobody, first and foremost. I don't care. I have my own thought process. I've been connecting dots since I was a youngin'. I have been I've been blessed with the gift of foresight. I have been blessed with the gift to be very analytical in the way that I think, very critical in the way that I think. I try my best not to place judgments without having all of the information first and analyzing said information first. Because the way in which, just like the devil, there is confusion, there is doubt, there's all kinds of, shrouded and clouded, situations that people try to, put on you. That way you don't dig into the truth. That way you don't see the forest through the trees. That way that you can't render the judgment that would have them beheaded, hello God, like Eddard Stark in a public forum. So what they do is they try their best to throw you off the scent by throwing other bitches under the bus. I've been said this and I stand 10 toes down on it to this day. If you look at the way that all of that live went, including things that transpired after my live interview with Zach, you will then know what the real mission was. The real mission was to throw Zach under the bus. The real mission was to allow him to work his fingers, his toes, hello God, his ass off to the bone for this season. Then the plan was to fire him. Again, we're talking about someone that was moving in an official capacity with no official kind of, credit to their name. You weren't employed. Platypus Space was not employed. People tried to use it as the crux of their argument to say, oh, it had to be all on Zach. No, 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 no. Again, that legendary Kiki panel live will reveal all. And Dario and Platypus Face were having side conversations. A bank account was allowed to not only be open but to thrive during the filming of Chasing Orlando. Monies weren't accounted for until much after funds were spent. You were fine with it until the tea was revealed onto all of us publicly. You have an issue with Harviana sitting around here doing due diligence and investigative reporting, hello God, to get down to the bottom of this alleged fraud, scheming, scamming type of behaviors. How are you mad? You were just really happy. You sounded happy in that live that we were getting to the bottom of it. So happy to the point where you were agreeing with my stance, my original stance in that live, knowing that we had a very public beef. You're mad now because people dug a little bit further? And why is that? Why is that? You were cool with it in the beginning when you wanted people on your side and you wanted people to look at you as a victim, when people were asking where your money was. Now it's not Harviana's business anymore because you claim to be calling them and dealing with them and having those conversations with them. If only we followed our own policies and procedures, girl. I love policy and procedure. Y'all know how I roll, girl. I love a nasty piece of protocol, bitch. Period, girl. If we followed your protocol that you said in that live, that you have a protocol and you've been around for many moons, so I'm quite sure these conversations took place with your EPs and anybody who works for your company, right? Sponsorship funds go into the Chasing Reality bank account. Hello, God. That bank account is held by Bank of America. These are your words, not anybody else's. So again, why was the check? Why was the sponsorship? Why was all of the things related to the monies allowed to go forever and ever through a bank account set up by Platypus Face? Zach had no control over the funds. Zach said, and I quote, and even the city princess herself stated that Zach wanted nothing to do with the sponsorship. Period. He didn't need one season one, did he? So how are we putting it all on Zach? And then utilizing other people. Again, Harviana, no tea, no shade, but you went in on Zach based on information that you received from Moose Carcass. TTB did the same thing. Shifting blame, allowing these people to kind of like use y'all a little bit in your platforms and putting this little bug in your ear. But if we pay attention at right in real time when I did that live with Zach and I got receipts that Daria was going off on Zach saying a lot of things that you've been felt about him. which leads me to have no choice but to add that to the evidence that you've been felt some type of way about him. You've been creating situations to get this man the fuck up out of here, and what better way to do that? And then by all y'all trying to stand on that hill that Platypus Face was not an official EP, he wasn't employed by the brand, it just makes y'all look even more dumb and foolish. Because am I the only one that's thinking outside the box? Am I the only one that's seeing the forest through the trees? Am I the only one that can see Foo La La from a mile away? How are you unofficial but you have the bank account? How are you unofficial and you writing letters in the name of chasing reality and getting bank accounts? How are you unofficial and you're having backdoor meetings with the boss and CEO? Who's obviously during that time and the end time not in a good place with his EP Zach. So again, it doesn't take a Game of Thrones mindset to realize what games were actually being played here. You wanted to oust Zach, and you did everything in your power to work with Platypus Face to make Zach look incompetent as fuck. That way, you have a reason to let him go and probably raise up Platypus Face to be your EP for Orlando. Girl, bye. And now Harviana has seen the glory. Harviana has seen the light. Harviana, the wool has been pulled from thine eyes. Hello, God. She can see clearly now the rain is gone. We are no longer tethered to foolishness, deception, and disgrace. We are living in the land of truth and justice. And I'm so glad that she has come around and she sees, hello, God, the truth, has felt it all. But I also feel really bad because I know you were creating a connection in a relationship with these people. And you really wanted their truth to be truth. And hey, I've been blinded before too by people. I have been led astray. I learned my lesson early on in the game, honey. Hello, God. That's why a lot of the girls don't like me. A lot of these people do not live for me, girl, because they know truth and justice is my main point. I cannot be curved. I cannot be led astray no longer. That I stand up for truth and I serve justice, even at the cost of being unpopular, even at the cost of being blackballed, even at the cost for people to think the way that they think about me. You know what? I don't care. Albert Einstein said it best: truth seekers and truth tellers, hello God, will always be met with the greatest opposition. Period. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because at the end of the day, it's not about these people or their platforms. It's about my people and my platform. Hello, God. You know? That's all I got to say really about the situation. You know, shout out to Harviana, and shout out to, you know, the girls that are now seeing things that I said that even in my mind, I said this, right? Especially after the Zach interview and how there was just total unleashing on Zach. And it's just like, girl, Zach from day one has admitted that he was at fault for a lot of the foolishness that befell season two of Chasing Orlando. He was trying to be quiet about matters that really had nothing to do with him because he probably already knew that Andario and Platypus Face were in cahoots, revealing information that they probably shouldn't have. And now we're mad. We are mad that the breadcrumbs that Jack and Jill ran up that hill, girl. Hell, I gotta fetch that pail of water. Hello, God. We're mad that the breadcrumbs led us to the evil witch's house. We're mad. We've discovered that the spell, hello God, to bring confusion has been broken. Mm, mm-mm-mm, mm-mm-mm, mm-mm-mm. Child, welcome everybody coming into the building. Let me read some of these comments real quick and we'll get back into it. Okay, period. Spoken words, hello, how are you? LMAO, honey, I've been doing it since the last episode of Orlando. That it was all a storyline. Let's be real. That last episode of Orlando, them playing that mystery things, was precisely a full storyline. This is why I can't get down with Harviana. Why can't you get down with her, baby? Love her, but her smoke for Zach is not that warranted. It should be in Dario and Platypus face. Yes, but you have to give people a little bit of grace because sometimes it can be easy for you to be influenced by those who you are trusting in, those who you're building a relationship with. You don't know the conversations that people have behind closed doors that can be so persuading, and because you fuck with them more, you're more inclined to believe them. Again, I've been there myself. Amen. But like I said, and even when I held my own live and I was trying to calm Harviana down and be like, hey, girl, so is this based on your relationship with them? There's a lot of fire for Zach. Is this based on information that you may have gotten? I didn't get the answer I was looking for because, again, we were in the heat. Everything was in the heat of the moment with the whole Ayo situation and the Zach situation. So I'll give people grace, but the fact that she's willing to go public and, low key admit in a lot of ways that she was wrong in that regard. And that, again, when you now can see the forest through the trees, it's like, okay, wow, okay, I was used for this purpose. I now see it. It takes a strong individual to come up here and to do that level of, I'm not going to say backpedaling and pussy popping, but because that's not what I think it was. There was no begging for forgiveness because she felt like she was wrong. There was more so like an admittance of like, okay, I may have allowed myself to be pulled this way because of my relationship with these people. I heard her say it in a couple of lives. So, I mean, I give people grace when they're able to admit those level of things, right? That speaks volumes to her character, in my opinion. YB, went on this trip. Hasn't this money situation been happening? The coins were deposited in that account in June. The trip was paid for, I believe, a month later or less than a month later. The trip they had was in August, I believe. Allegedly, all of that money, actually, the money was spent before they even went on the trip. It was just a way to drum attractions so Atlanta season could be the rescue. Could be. I also wonder if more funds were given. That way we can produce this season of Atlanta. You had two seasons being created, edited, and basically posted up at the same time, Orlando and Atlanta. So I do wonder, is there some validity to the idea that whatever editing took place in that original sponsorship letter, was there more money? Because again, from the receipts that I got about the bank statements, there's no real telling of where the money went to. For all we know, there was a conspiracy to funnel that money to Andario. Again, it's funny, right? You're not going by your own protocol with the bank deposit situation for sponsorship coins, right? You allowed this to take place with the sponsorship money for as long as you did. It makes me wonder, was there more money to be had? And that way it doesn't link to you directly. That way you can, because you sat here and said you did DoorDash for your season. You've been doing all these things and you have the best trailer, the best girls, the best everything. And you talking about how poor you are and how you have to do all these back alley jobs, girl, to put your shit together, right? How do you fund it all? How are we funding all of this if we're poor? So it makes again, when you have impropriety and you also are known, there's a history there. Hello, God. We won't get into that right now, but just know that there's a history there of impropriety, fraudulence, foolishness. Hello, God. It makes one question all of your business dealings, what your intentions have always been. And for all we know, we could all be wrong, but we all could be right. But the reason we're here today is because these people have decided to create this level of foolishness, toxic confusion for the people by embedding themselves in situations they shouldn't be. Having cast members leak things in the building. When you play dirty and when you try to do what you did, when you did what you did to Zach, you didn't think that the spirits weren't going to warrant, hello God, what is the word I'm looking for, girl? Spin the block on your ass. There's a reason all of this stuff came out. There's a reason why the first situation with a Reese G, a Oliver Twixt, hello God, a Q, all of these people no tea, no shade, have exhibited raggedy bitch behavior at one point or another. I always have said this, girl, the fact that y'all were friends for how long, and now because it no longer suits you, girl, you have the same demeanor and energy, the same way you claim these people are horrible demonic entities is a reflection of who you really are too, because you attracted that likeness as well, correct? Right. Okay. And I want to say this too, because I know there's probably going to be some cunts in the building later, maybe in the live or the after in the replay. When you, I don't want no bitch in here whose head is so far up Moose Carcass's ass because you think that that's the queen bee. A lot of you cunts are delusional. The same way y'all gonna say, well, you don't know either. You don't know these people either. I have more what's the word? More reputable history with these people than a lot of y'all do because I've been here. Again, I don't know them like that, but girl, when people know you for your works, patterns of behavior, say all they need to say about who you are. So I don't want nobody here that's gonna be eating these girls' ass. I don't play that over here. Okay, period. Okay, let's keep it moving. Joanna Miller, but if Dario send him a nice message to stop, why would Harviana get all mad and stuff? I think it went too far. Let me tell you the real truth, baby. Forgive me, Harviana, but from what I know to be true, the original message was, you don't need to do this because now my name is in it. But you, again, were fine with us being involved in it when you were the victim. Right? It's giving, oh shit, this is really spinning out of control because we all had a hand in this shit. And if the investigation boils down to it, we all gonna be figured out. And now I'm really gonna be fucked up. That's what it's giving. Because I believe Harviana stated publicly that when contacted Pineapple Healthcare, there was a wonder. And I wonder if the agent that helped them out, the worker, whoever that was who authorized that, was there a backdoor deal? Again, these are all of this is shrouded in mystery because these people let leaks in the building and these people have moved and operated for years in a way that is not just, that is not right. Very nasty behavior. Will we ever know? Probably not. Do we really even give a fuck? To be honest with you, no. But the door was opened. So we finna open it. And you can't tell somebody what the hell to do. Let's just be real with that too. Because you were fine with us doing the investigation and digging into other people's ass when you were the alleged victim at the time, correct? Okay, period. But YB, I think if you was in a situation, you wouldn't have gotten all mad and doing all these lives after that text he sent, especially since it wasn't mean and rude. I move differently. That doesn't mean that I expect people to move the way that I move. Definitely would have had a private conversation about the matter before I would have went live. Very true. That's how I work. We don't know the actual inner workings of what was happening to make that actually happen. To be honest with you. And no, I'm not just giving this piece of tea because I have it out for Moose Carcass or we don't see eye to eye. And I'm definitely not up here to eat the asshole of Harviana either. I'm up here to be the bringer of truth and justice and just sharing my experience. And I want you all that are over here that are going to be sitting here going to bat for the girls, go back to the original legendary Kiki panel live. Okay? Listen, not to respond. Listen to understand the conversation that is happening between Moose Carcass and Platypus Face. Please. That will alleviate a lot of the wonder you all have about the situation with alleged fraud with Pineapple Health and the conspiracy to root out Zach as the EP and to place Platypus Face in there. Trust and believe. It ain't right. This goes beyond what Harviana did. It is because of what Harviana did that truth has now been revealed unto thee. Okay? Period. And it might not have been mean or rude, but guess what, baby? You don't tell someone what the fuck to do, especially at a point where what they were doing in the previous moment was helping you out. And now that, we're digging a little bit deeper into the tea, it might affect you in a negative way. And it probably will. And what if if there's no fraud, if there's nothing there, why give a damn? Why care? Tell the truth. Why care? You know? Only thing I can say is I respect the person who is this messy blogger. Or at least they stood 10 toes down in their mess. Amen. I think it's Istries and Cheese B hasn't said anything when he covers everything. I mean, he's attached to the brand. It would be unprofessional. I'm not mad that he isn't, because when you're connected to somebody on that level, he was their co-editor or whatever. You work for the platform. Your job is to defend said platform that you work with. I'm not mad at it, to be honest with you. That's why we're here, baby. I wonder what the benefit is for these EPs to put their work on someone else's platform versus putting it in their own. Well, the clout. These people don't have the name for themselves like that to garner the expectation of viewership. A lot of these girls don't want to start from the ground up. It's a lot. Say what we want. Chasing Reality has a name. They're popular. They're legendary. They've been around for a long time. So, of course, you want to be associated with them. Look at what the Scene ATL did. The Scene ATL risked. Let's just tell the truth. No tea, no shade. Love Carl. Hello, God. Love the girls down to the scene. But we got to be real. You decided that you wanted to put this out just because you needed it to align timeline-wise with Atlanta. Because you needed their viewership. You needed a little bit of that leg up. You needed that aura to help fuel your ratings and your numbers. You sacrificed all of these bumps and bruises that y'all have experienced with production, mics, a lot of these, different imperfections that have been taking place and that we've called out since, they came out. There was a big sacrifice there, So I get it. It's sad about chasing it kind of going down. All the EPs is getting fired. Well, I wouldn't be put, like I said, girl, they put too much stock into this stuff. It was all advertising Atlanta at the same time. Currently, you have Orlando going on, which says to me, as a boss, you'd rather burn down the franchise to pick yours up. Interesting, right? Goes to character and mindset. Thank you. Zach is good because I wouldn't try to get no money if my name wasn't on the account. You still got to fund your season. If you got a sponsorship, right? Why am I going to spend my money to catch these Ubers to film these scenes? Why am I going to spend my money on filming these scenes when we got $12,000? But I'm glad he didn't get his name on the account, because if there is some type of financial impropriety on that level, then guess what? He's not going to be wrapped up in it whatsoever. Understood. It goes deeper level with Zach for Harvey on it. Actually, I feel like Orlando cast definitely could have had a reunion. Still had it put out right before Atlanta dropping, because Atlanta's not coming out until the end of January. Well, again, this goes down to integrity, character, mindset. And Dario said, fuck everything else, because all of this came out, right? So let's be done with it. Very unprofessional. You allowed that situation to tank. You disappointed the viewers, and you definitely disrespected the entire hell out of the cast members, who are the ones putting in the real work. Period. Again, y'all love your queen. You love Queen Moose, girl. But look what the queen will do. She's not a business person, because business people don't take things personally. Period. Well, I think Zach is not a confrontational person. And the real issue, sorry, I'm eating pizza, child. Zach is not a confrontational person. And I think he was just dumbfounded at the fact that, wow, these girls are really trying to throw me under the bus to save their face. But that's when truth tellers and truth seekers like myself come in and we try our best to balance it all out to make sense of everything. My interview with him, I felt like a lot of things made sense. And don't take this the wrong way because I don't mean y'all, but y'all. A lot of the girls that come in the chat, y'all are delusional as fuck. Probably more delusional than these cast members. A lot of people that comment because you have personal dealings with certain individuals. So you don't even care about facts. You don't even care about the real tea. You care about because it's your homegirl them that's getting caught up with all these stray bullets, girl. That's getting read for filth. Period. Let's just be honest about that. Y'all don't care about truth. The live Atlanta event coming up, let's be real, couldn't even sell out. That's why they had to do a 2-for-1 deal. That sounds like a DaBaby concert, girl. Remember when he was out here giving out free tickets, girl, and forcing his tickets on the girls because he couldn't get a full house in his little backyard fair events, girl. Okay. I feel like that's people they needed Max to be the main storyline because Marlo was the one who basically helped fund the season. I mean, I guess. Oh, shit. Okay. I think Harvin was more mad they fed him information about the money than turned around and tried to stop him when they couldn't control the situation and never stopped Zach. Cocoa Butter Barbie, that is everything and then some. That state, all of that is exact. Exactly. That actually answers everything, period. I don't even got to do it live no more. Okay. What's up, Jeff? How you doing? To me, it seemed like they tried to control the narrative in order to get their dirty work done and gagged when they lost control. Girl, let me tell you something. I was told, right? The girl, Boston CEO herself, was gagged at the fact that I knew the number. They were gagged. And if you paid attention, and you know, no tea, no shade, TCB. But remember when I did that live and I was giving my theories on what I think was happening, I was knocking on a particular door, and that's when the girls tried to say, oh, that's not right, that's not accurate. But then that same week, you were propelled to do these stories and push out all that information. I feel as if Boston CEO, Moose Carcass, Loose Skin, said, you know what, let's go ahead and do it ourselves. How does YB have this information? Blah, 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 blah. We need to go ahead and put it out there ourselves before this thing grows legs. And they utilized TTB as the mouthpiece for the platform. Again, not mad at that. Y'all got to do what y'all got to do to put more out there. And then when I had the bank receipts, the girls were shocked. When I was able to have all of this tea about everything else, the girls were shocked. How does he know? Bitch, you'll never know. That's why I'm a respected girl in this space. They know I'm not finna tell. Hello, guy. I don't reveal my sources. I wouldn't have sources if I revealed my sources. Okay? Period. That's why you think I was so calm in how I approached all of this stuff. I already knew the truth. I was waiting for all these people to lie. Even at the expense of my good homegirl Harviana having to holler and scream against Zach. And that's why I was so calm in that moment, because I know the truth. All things will be revealed in due time. Level heads will always prevail. Y'all can go ahead and feel free to think how you want to think and to whatever, but I have the truth. I have the receipts. That's why I laughed at a lot of these cunts that were sitting around here going to bat for some shit that they knew nothing about. Period. But I think exactly, Jeff, they lost control of the narrative and it wasn't going the way they thought it was going to go. Because again, the girls, imagine this, right? Why do you think the girls, especially these producers, judge the show? We just want you to judge the show. Girl, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. If it bleeds off, if your unprofessionalism and your lack of everything bleeds off into the show, we're going to talk about it. And then another bitch might actually feel the need to dive a little bit deeper into the shenanigans of it all, right? And unearth some things that you were trying to conceal because it would go against who you are as a person and as a business person, period. And it was some nasty work, honey. Seeing Atlanta could have waited. Them bumps and bruises is too much. Thank you, Joanna Miller. Love my boy Carl. Love my boy Scotty and Bando. But at the end of the day, y'all should have waited. Y'all should have waited. But there was such a need to align yourself with chasing Atlanta. Which have they shared your product? I would love to know, girl. Has Atlanta? I know they shared. Hold on, let me get on my other phone. Yes, girl. We're gonna get into the things because I'm feeling like a petty cunt. Yes, girl. Let's go to the platform, honey. Let's see what we got going on over here. Mm-hmm. Mm. Aw, girl. I'm going to the share post. Mm. Mm. Interesting. A lot of happy birthdays, but I don't see no sharing of the scene ATL. Aw. Oh, my bad. The trailer was shared a month ago on their community wall on YouTube. Mm. Aw. Yeah, and Dari don't care about y'all, girl. Because it doesn't align with the platform, baby. Y'all should have took your time instead of rushing everything and did your own thing. But I understand, girl, it's business. You want to get what you can get based on your alignment with the bigger brand. But has the bigger brand treated you like a sister? A sister in YouTube Christ? No. Because I don't see no sharing. They shared your trailer a month ago. They haven't engaged in anything y'all had going on from what I'm seeing on here, girl. Mm, yeah. So instead of y'all coming out here looking like fools, you should have just took your time because you have something. I'm not gonna just tear y'all down without lifting a hand. Y'all got a lot of great things about yourselves. We're seeing that progression in real time, but maybe we wouldn't have to see it in real time. It would have always all been consistent if we just would have did what we did. Okay. Yeah. I heard about the tea that was released about Carl being added because I guess another person got arrested or whatever. And, the reason from what I heard, and again, these sources, I do not like these people to save a life, Chad. I'm not going to, girl, if I was drowning, the people that released this, I think it was December and Roland. If I was drowning, just let me drown, girl. Please, girl. But the fact that it's also been corroborated from another party that I'm aware of, shout out to me being who I am, that actually is very true tea. Uh-huh. So you talk all that shit about Carl, but then you want to add him later to have a kinship with Tremel. And then on top of that, because one of your cast members, you didn't know what his future was looking like because he was arrested. Mm-hmm. And the words that you used to slay Carl before realizing you needed him is true to form out of your mouth. You sorry cunt. Yeah. But y'all love her, girl. You live for a Maleficent, girl. You think that she is a benevolent queen, girl, when really she's a raggedy whore. Girl, bye. Sorry I say girl, period. Preach, preach, preach. They needed Atlanta to start the roller coaster. And then they are still waiting for episode 5 because, yes, I think it's smart he had to ask them for money. The constant arguing is draining. It really is, mother. Moose pulled the Reese G. Yeah, that's who she's always been, though. You got to understand that's why they were friends to begin with. The energy was like. It was alike. It attracted each other like a moth to a flame. But when, hello God, the girls start wanting to move differently or whatever, they start getting that same treatment from that friend group. This is what ends up happening, baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, honey. Honey, that bitch don't do nothing for nobody unless it serves her purpose. And when the purpose has been served, you are niche skeet, honey. You don't exist. She treats you like Mariah does Jennifer Lopez, honey. Okay, hello God. Where is my jacket? Because girl, it's cold and I need a cigarette. Damn. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Yes, girl. Hmm. And I want to be very clear. I am not trying to shade the scene or anybody else other than who needs to be shaded, but I want people to start recognizing patterns of behavior. That way we can move accordingly. These girls, when they show you who they are, you believe them. Okay? When other people have shared an experiences, again, just because I have an experience with someone doesn't mean yours is going to be the same. I pray that it's not the same. Again, I feel bad for Harviana and people that have entrusted these other girls. Hello, God. I feel bad for the girls. I want you to have a better experience than I did. I hope the rumors and the things that I've experienced are not true with these people. But as we've seen, every person that I've had an issue with, they end up experiencing very similar things that I've experienced with those people. I'm just saying. What's up, Blame Society? How are you? Um, Dre Simmer been told y'all Moose don't really like any of them. Well, hey, I will agree with that. But we can't trust his mouth. His mouth is so foul, and he has distorted all his relationships with people. It's hard to even trust people like him. The question I have is, why is it so difficult to trust me? Why is it when I saw that my name was in the chat, hashtag YB was right, hashtag YB was right, why is it so hard to believe me in the moment when I'm actually bringing these things up, right? Why is it so hard? Especially when I feel like I do a very good job of detailing, hello, God, why. I give good examples. I bring receipts a lot of the times and my experiences with these people to the forefront. Why is it so hard to believe that YB, the speaker of truth and justice, bitch, is lying to y'all? Huh? I want to know, girl. I would love to know. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to give it to you 100%. I have an individual in my life that's the same Taurus zodiac. He was straight up with me when he told me that, hey, I'm not your friend, I'm just friendly. I'm a Capricorn, baby. And I wouldn't even put a person in that space anyway to make you feel like you're my friend. You'll know based on how we interact with one another. Mm-hmm. You would never have to really question is why be your friend. How do we interact with one another will determine whether you can call me a friend or I can call you a friend. Hello. And I be genuinely wanting to love everybody. I sure do. I really do. But girl, in this space, the girls have proven themselves, girl, they can't be trusted. They can't be trusted in that regard. They really can't. And I think this is just a message for like reviewers and everybody. And not just because of what Harviana has experienced, but from what I've experienced, from what others have experienced. We gotta keep separation of church and state, girl, period. There needs to be a separation of powers, girl. Like real tea. We can't get, and again, I've been there. I understand what that is like. And then you end up taking everything so personally because you thought you had a friend, because you thought you were building a connection with somebody. But again, you have to start thinking to yourself, am I being treated as an actual friend or an opportunity? You know? And I just think Harviana has one of those personalities where, she wants to love people, she wants to give people opportunities and chances. And again, feel free to do that. Even if you've seen them have raggedy ass experiences with other people, give them the benefit of the doubt until they show you who they are. You know, if you don't ever get that from them, then good for you. Because I'm never going to judge my friends. I'm never going to be mad at my friends for associating themselves or loving on people who I don't see it for. It's perfectly fine. I really don't care. But I do want you to know, you'll never be able to say that, Chad. YB did tell me. YB did put me up on beat. You know, yeah, he did try. And, hey, And my Capricorn nature is a little petty sometimes, and I love to get that I told you so out the way early, girl. Mm-hmm. Yes, God, honey. Honey, review the show. That's what I be doing, girl. I don't have to like moose carcass or loose skin. I don't have to like the loose booty girl. I don't have to like her to review her product. I'm gonna continue doing me and no one's gonna move me. No one should be moving you as well. We don't have to like these people to love on the product because guess what? The product is bigger than them. We're here to advocate and to love on these cast members and to give them opportunities. We're not here for the CEOs and the EPs. It's great if they're good people and they want to come along the journey too, but really we're here to exploit, not exploit in a bad way, but to bring awareness to these cast members and what they have going on. At the end of the day, that is their exchange because they're on free platforms not getting a check. So if we can find ways to interview them, advertise their chase, whether it's music, whether it's a product or service that they're selling, that is what the cast members need. Now, I will say this is why I don't go up for people who intentionally try to ban their cast from going on certain platforms because you feel some type of way. One thing I'll always say about Reese G, no matter how I've always felt, is that no matter what me and that bitch was going through, she would come on the platform. She would encourage her cast members to come on these platforms and to get it out there. Because y'all don't have a Breakfast Club. There is no mainstream media. Girl, there's only a few of us out here that are worth a damn. Let's just tell the truth, girl. To get these girls on these platforms and to get into the things of the things about those things. Let's just be real. This is why I also encourage a lot of the younger, newer people in this space that have platforms. Do it. Hold on. Yeah, girl. I encourage a lot of these girls like build your platforms up, do what you got to do, and become the mainstays. Because there will come a time where the big three are gone. A lot of the girls who were influential in this space will be gone. Get your names out now, collaborate now, do what you got to do because y'all gonna be hurting. Y'all doing all this, all these platforms be doing all this shit talking, but girl, you ain't gonna have nobody to bring awareness to your shows. You're not gonna have nobody if y'all keep moving and operating in such a grimy ass, raggedy ass way. No one is going to want. Girl, what is that? No one's. You're not gonna have any space for your people, girl. Especially coming from Moose Carcass's mouth herself, girl. That loose tongue, girl, equating to her loose skin, girl. This is where we plan on being. We don't plan on elevating. We don't plan on getting this. So we don't plan on paying the cast. Well, that's a shame. And then what you gonna do when the influential girls dive the hell up out of this space? When there's no more platforms that want to feature y'all? What incentive does your cast have now to want to be cast? The interviews are pivotal. The engagement is pivotal, especially on off seasons. What are you gonna do then? Okay, not saying that we are these greater than thou type of platforms, but this is what you got. Let's just tell the truth. This is what y'all got. You got a few in between, but them girls don't do interviews. Hello. Let's tell the truth. Mm. Why do you think I went off on the Justin Diego pick? And he's no longer part of the brand. Someone who is notorious for really good housewives content, never once shared or even was a part of y'all situation, got a big old platform. What you gonna be able to do with that? How is his audience gonna be turned on to y'all? I just want to know. Funky Doniva, you've had access to her ever since y'all was with Oliver. You could have had him host a reunion. You could have had him do this, that, and the third. The only thing I saw him do was do something with Chasing the Beat, and that was something that Oliver was directly managing at that point. What? I'm just asking these questions, girl. Mm-hmm. Where does the future lie for web series? Not just chasing, but all web series. Where does the future lie? You keep bringing up these nobodies. Let's just tell the truth. We don't know a lot of you girls, you cast members. We don't know you. How are we going to get to know you if there's no platforms that are worth a damn to be on? Y'all creators and you EPs need to start thinking outside the box a little bit more. Stop being so personal. Stop being raggedy ass bitches Stop being some self-serving cunts and narcissists and delusional whores and get out of your own way and do business. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Moose Pool and Reese Jean, I don't like it. They could have paid for their own reunion. All this time has passed and ATL still isn't out. Girl, they could have did this in a free situation. Doesn't Pablo have multiple properties in Orlando? You could have decorated, girl. Get all these gays that claim they can design some shit. You don't need this superfluous space, girl. You could have went down to Post nightclub and said, "Hey, we bring y'all up all the time. There's a conversation. Get Cali Boy out there. He been on CNN or whatever, having these conversations. Pull the community together." Why isn't that happening? Remember what Reese did in that one season with that lemonade situation? Uh, Created a relationship with those people. Hey, do me, I do you, girl. Period. I always talk about community relations. Doing what you got to do, utilizing the resources around you. There's a lot of LGBTQ friendly organizations that have a lot of money to spare and that will do what they got to do. There's LGBTQ establishments, especially in these popular gay cities. Instead of being a greedy cunt and waiting after a couple of months to get your YouTube funding, give these girls a stipend. Give these girls some level of incentive to want to stick around and actually do this thing and take it seriously. That way we don't have situations like Rashida Fox. That way we don't have situations like these other girls who want to pull out. Or fan favorites like Lauren England could stick around or want to stick around. You know? Mm-hmm. And if I wanted to, I could explain to you guys why. But see, I'm not. See, they say a lot about me, darling. But see, I could tell y'all why we'll never get a Chasing All Stars. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could tell y'all why you'll never get that when that conversation is brought up. Why it never will come to fruition. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, girl. We'll save that for another time in life if I ever feel the need to go there and stab that thing, honey. Hello, God. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But in the words of X-Men 97, hello, God, after the devastation that reaped its ugly head through Genosha, Magneto was right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Magneto was right. Mm-hmm. But I guess, girl, who's next on the chopping block? I don't know. What's up, D? How you doing? What's up, brother? Yeah. All I gotta really say at the end of the day is a lot of this stuff is unfortunate. We don't like to go outside the bounds of what it is that we do, but sometimes that ends up happening. And depending on how people feel and how they feel like they're being treated, we can't be mad at how they decide to move accordingly. I'm not mad at Harviana. If anything, I'm excited. You know why I'm excited? Because thank God we had something to do with Orlando. It's unfortunate that it became their demise, but it's fortunate for us because we were able to pull a rabbit out of a hat, girl, turn, something from nothing because we had nothing to work with. And again, this goes to controlling thine mouth, controlling thine feelings and emotions, and not allowing, these things to get to y'all to the point where you're spraying yourselves down with your own tea. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe if Moose Carcass and wasn't clicking that link all through the year, trying to be seen and heard. Girl, remember when she was fat? She was quiet. Hello? Remember she was built like a sack of butterball turkeys, girl? Hello, God. Left in the freezer down to the Walmart, girl. banded together, searching for warmth. Girl, hello, God. Remember she was quiet, girl? You know, the fat girls be quiet, girl. A lot of the fat girls never had the confidence that I did as a fat person to get on here and to spew foolishness and get it all out there. Right? Right, girl. Maybe you should have just left it all alone, stayed in the corner of life. Hello, God. Stay there. That way we wouldn't be like this. Have conversations with your cast. I know that Marlo and Ayo don't like to have that tag, but y'all did provide the leak in the building. Amen. You provided it. And even prior to that, wasn't she releasing tea and emails and things of that nature? Maybe y'all should have had conversations and being moving more professional. And again, they're only learning from their masters, their bosses, and their CEOs. Look at how you've moved your raggedy tongue through this space over the past year and a half, girl. On the hill of, I'm finally going to speak up for myself against these great evils that try to go against me. And everyone ate that up. Oh, finally, and Daria was speaking up for herself. She's tired of these raggedy cunts coming for her, not realizing that why are raggedy cunts coming for her? Right? Y'all ever thought about that? If she was such a lamb of God, right? Now behold the lamb. Precious moose of God, born into sin that she may live again with all loose skin. Honey, hello, God. You wonder why the demons were coming against her. If you're such a good person, why are they trying to come against you, darling? Right? We got to ask those real questions. I see we lost some people in the chat. That's perfectly fine. I know a lot of y'all love your queen, girl, but let's tell the truth, girl. And that's what I will always do. There could be 3 cunts in this live, and I'm still going to be here. Period. Yes, God. Oop, hold on. What did I just do? Oh, nothing. Yeah. Yeah, honey, Justin Diego was announced to be the executive producer for Chasing Atlanta season 7. But in the midst of whatever happened, because we'll never really know the truth, I guess she figured, this doesn't align with me, or I guess her and Moose Carcass were not seeing eye to eye on some things. It just didn't work out. And I knew it wasn't going to work out because that's not her brand. That's not her zhuzh. Period. The bougiest. I feel like everybody always pointing their finger at each other over at the Chasing headquarters. Yeah. Instead of taking accountability for their foolishness and working, if we are being professional from the start, if we are working diligently to be professional, to stay in color within the lines of life, we will not be having these discussions. None of this would have been happening. Right? If we moved accordingly and professional, we wouldn't be here. No one would have anything to talk about. Right? Right. Period. So I'm a bit confused in a nutshell what happened. Basically, child, Harviana dug a little bit further into the pineapple healthcare situation, that all that drama that took place with the $12,000 sponsorship during Chasing Orlando season, that took on a life of its own. And Dario got mad because, the girls were digging a little bit too further, asked Harviana to stop. Harviana said, no, man, Pam, girl, now that the tea is the tea and we're all seeing what's really happening here, it looks as if, YB was correct all along with y'all trying to, be in conspiracy to throw Zach under the bus. That way y'all could carry on with your delusions and your fraud. Basically, that's why we're here now. Cliff Notes version. And while everybody was YB's this and YB's that, and now everyone's YB is right. Aww. Girl, all roads lead back to the fact that I am correct. And hey, look here, I'm not above being corrected, but it's very rare that that happens because my sources be sourcing, girl. Uh, YB is delusional, YB is this, and YB is that, and la 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 la. But no, YB is correct. Okay? History will show that YB is very, very right. But I have moved in the past few years in the mode of don't give a fuck. I review my shows, I have my kiki and my cackle, honey, and I keep it moving. I'm here for my people. I'm here for my platform. I'm here, hello God, to give what everyone has been begging me to give. When I took the hiatus, you know how many people hit me up? We need your thoughts. We need your opinions. We need the truth and justice of YB Speaks, honey. We need this. Hello God. And then I come back and I continue doing what I've always done. And the girls still hate it. Girl, bye. Why do you hate it so much? Because truth is always at the forefront? That I don't allow my relationships with people to blind my judgment? No, ma'am, Pam. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. But I appreciate Harviana. Truth and justice must always prevail over all things, even if it means we have to put our own foot in our mouth. I've had to do that several times in my life. It is no tea, it is no shade to her. It is what is called being human. And again, when you choose truth and justice over all things, I love you even more for it. Love you even more for it. But again, I would like to remind people truth is in that legendary Kiki panel live. Pay attention to the context clues, pay attention to the innuendo, pay attention to the conversation between Moose Carcass and Platypus Face. Okay? And you'll be able to come up with the same things that I came up with. It's a conspiracy. It's all a conspiracy. And again, I'll reiterate, you were with us when we were going up for the Pineapple Health investigation. But now that phone calls have actually been made, people have responded to said phone calls, and we're also wondering what the fuck was going on. Now it's a problem. Now you want to hit up my homegirl and ask her to stop her investigation? Why? I would love to know why. And I know people can say it's not her business, but y'all made it our business, correct? You made it our business. And again, I'll reiterate, whether it's our business or not, we can talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. And you're welcome. We brought laughter and entertainment. We brought the mess. We brought what was needed, required, and desired to shake this boring ass space the fuck up. You're welcome, bitch. Yes. Glory. You're welcome, girl. Mm-hmm. What's up, Star Child? How are you? In the initial live, the legendary Kiki panel that I'm referring to, in the moment, I was definitely trying to unearth the truth because I was mad at the fact that they were trying to use Zach as the scapegoat. In the moment, it would make one think, right? Oh, and Dario's a victim. We all thought it. Oh, y'all even sent him cash apps when he shed those fake Moose Carcass tears, girl, on that live that one day. Sending him cash apps when he revealed onto the girls, I am out here poor. I am out here working DoorDash to make this season of Atlanta happen, girl. We all felt bad. But then when you replay the live and you really pay attention, oh, it's very apparent that y'all had some backdoor shit going on. So in the beginning, it was Platypus Face. But I also have to get on Indario because these are protocols, policies, and procedures set forth by you and Human Resources, which happens to be your mother, darling. Hello, God. I don't feel confident in that investigation because there's obviously conflicts of interest, right? Then we started asking the real questions. Now the girls want to be silent. The girls did everything in their power to push it on Zach, and that always makes a real bitch wonder, what is it all for? Why are we doing everything in our power to push this on one person when knowing all of us are to blame? Especially Platypus Face, but really it's in Dario because you're the king of the castle. You are the queen, you are the monarch, girl, of the tea. How did all of this slip by you? Oh, it didn't. And you'll realize it didn't when you replay that live I'm talking about, where he said, oh, we had conversations behind. Remember we talked about this in Dario? Remember we discussed, and Dario tried to stay quiet because he's also not that much of a fool, but he's a fool, right? Because you also agreed that y'all had backdoor conversations about these issues that we're talking about here. And when you replay that live, you'll ask me, you'll see me, hear me asking Dario, oh, so you knew about all of this already? That's when I low-key started shutting the fuck up, and I replayed that live not once, not twice, but 3 times. Platypus Face and Dario were in cahoots. Yes, they were. Period. Period. Fly girl, hello gone. And this is why you are needed in this space. Hashtag YB brings balance. Shout out to balance, bitch. You know I'm a provider of all the things balance, honey. That live was the reunion. So what's up, Outspoken? A1's A1 in the building, honey. Hello, God. Period. What's up, Jace? How you doing, baby? You ever slipped up and said who your sources was at any time? Nope. I don't make those mistakes, baby. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, baby. No one knows who my sources are. I have multiple sources. I am YB speaks truth, honey. I hate to just ring the bell on myself, but let's just tell the truth. Give us our things, girl. Period. Give us our things. I've been in this space for a very, 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 very long time. The girls love me. The girls trust me. And the girls are not going to. Now, I back up everything I get. I do the best that I can. That's what you do when you're doing your due diligence. And I bounce it off of multiple sources to confirm. Everything that I've received has been double confirmed. Period. These are the reasons you are the Oracle, honey. Period. Bobby, thank you. I needed to figure out what happened. Yes, Nia, you're welcome, baby. You all are very welcome. That is what the platform is for, honey. To bring balance, truth, and justice. That's why I wanted to have Zach on one-on-one. A lot of the girls were like, oh, you're going to go to YB because who's not going to what? Who's not going to what? Just because I'm not ferocious and aggressive doesn't mean that I can't get. So you bear more, what do they say? You get more bees with honey or some shit, right? Calm, cool, collected. Barbara Walters had a way of getting Fidel Castro together without having to get loud with him, didn't she? May she rest in peace. Period. Yeah. He said a lot in that interview, and the things that he didn't say were also very bold and loud as well. Again, people, I'm not trying to down y'all, and again, not y'all, but a lot of the people that try to come for me, I do nothing but think, baby. My mind, I'm probably gonna get brain cancer one day because I think so hard and long. Let me see the lighter. So I sit back and I think, even in moments where I feel like, I've come on here a lot of times in the past, and I've apologized for being overzealous and not saying things first. Yeah, you got it. Where'd you put it? I'll come back and I'll apologize. That's why I'm not mad at Harviana for doing what she had to do. At least she came on. She realized, she saw the forest through the trees based on her treatment and everything else. And she came on. She didn't have to do any of that. She could have left it all alone. But truth and justice prevailed. And again, that goes to her character and that goes to her integrity. That's why we have to give her props. Damn, where the hell is the lighter at? Well, it's not out here, honey. Let me check my pocket again. I don't see the lighter, honey. It's not in there. Oh, here it is. Excuse me, y'all. Girl, I hate when it gets cold. I feel like when it gets cold, my lungs go to shrinking. I can no longer hold the smoke in anymore, child. But yeah, honey, that's why we're gathered here today. We want to provide clarity, give my opinions. A lot of people are hitting me up wanting my thoughts on all of this foolishness. And I just wanted to bring that level of clarity and understanding to the matter. And again, I just want people to start paying attention. I hate to sound like such a cunt when I say that, but like reading, listening, very important, people. That live, when I went back and listened to it the second time, I was like, oh, wow. They said a lot without saying a lot. And I wanted to make that the bedrock of my argument because we really don't have much to say when the proof is in something that's already been done. That legendary Kiki panel gives the perspective to the matter. Hello, God. Yes, it does. So if y'all want clothes, because I'm not talking about this shit again, because I told myself I wasn't going to come into the new year on some old ass shit, because don't nobody care. Calm down, bitch. All that running around and shit, pissing me off. Get down, stupid ass bitch. Ooh, I just threw a bottle at my neighbor's back door. He gonna be mad. I don't give a fuck. Sorry, child. That was the cat. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was the cat. Blame it on the puss. Okay. What's up, Butter Pecan? How you doing? Nick, how you doing? How can anyone feel comfortable going to HR about an issue when HR is literally the mother of the boss? How is that anyway ethical? Exactly. It's a conflict of interest, girl. The girls will never feel right, you know? But we want to act like we're a legitimate business on any other day, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of these girls be shaking in their boots because for some reason, and Dario is the star. Hello, God, is the sun, the grass in which they graze. Hello, God. They need her. They require her. They desire her. Hello, God. For what? I don't know because she ain't paying none of y'all bills. Mm-hmm. She don't pay y'all bills, girl. She don't. She don't cut the check, girl. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I definitely trust you. You don't drop shit on this push, but sources are never leaked. They usually tell on themselves. Period. Thank you, Outspoken. I figured he was in on it. He embarrassed Chloe for donating a few of her own dollars to a ball on Chasen's behalf, but let 12,000 vanish. That was given on a letter you wrote. Slinky Neck is a dirty mofo. Period. Trust me, honey. She knows all things, girl. She tried to act real stupid and dumbfounded. Oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? What are you guys talking about? I still didn't get my money, but then I was like, hold on. So much time passed, and every time you uploaded an advertisement for Pineapple Health, and can I just tell you the truth? A long time ago, I think I reached out to Chasing when I was starting my Tika Naturals thing, and I was going to ask. I inquired about rates for sponsorship to have my for ad space basically, and girl, what the fuck, and it was like I forget what the pricing was. I think it was like 150 or 200 per whatever. Last I checked, that wasn't $12,000 worth of shit for the promo. I think it was like $150 per episode. Like if I wanted my ad placed in certain episodes, it was like $150 per episode or something like that. I'm sure the price increased since then or whatever, but which is probably why they don't have any real sponsors like that. When you look at all the brands across the board, there's like either one sponsorship. Ain't nobody finna pay for these ads like that. Because they're not getting their returns from it. They saw that a long time ago. They weren't getting a real return from it. Actually, shout out to Reese because I feel like Reese was the only one. Reese would do the advertisement for the person themselves. Remember when she did the long nail diva shit? We barely got to see what the long nail diva looked like. Sometimes Reese would put them on just to have the advert. You pay me, girl, I'll go ahead and advertise it for you myself. I'll be the face of the promo or whatever. Girl, period. But that wasn't $12,000 worth of ad space. If we want to tell the truth. But every single time you put their ad in on the episode, you didn't think to yourself, oh, I need my money. Or again, you technically approved for them to get that bank account. If we replay that live again, girl, I wish I had my computer and I wish I had all night because I definitely would go through that live again with y'all just to prove my point here today. You are aware of it. You allowed these people to create this bank account. You told that boy not to probably not to put Zach on there. You controlled the funds. And even if you did this outside of that, once realized, and Dario should have asked you to drain that bank account and to Zelle him all that fucking money to that account. Period. End of story. Y'all knew what y'all was doing and how much y'all want to bet there's more money out there, girl. There's more money out there, girl. Shout out to Dominique for saying that the cast really made it happen for season 7 of Atlanta. But girl, I really wonder, was it the cast that made it happen, or was there more funding that you were utilizing all this stuff for so you can really get it? Because this is tea, girl. It's very tea. It's above Hello God, a DoorDash side hustle, girl. Will we ever know? Do we really care? I don't care. But again, all of these questions are asked, whether true or not. The fact that you guys put this level of leaks in the building, that's your fault. This is all your fault. The fact that people are questioning your integrity, your fucking intentions as a human being, the quality of the person that you are. Your character is in question because of the foolishness that you bestowed upon our good screens, bitch. So don't get mad at us. Because we got the people asking some very real questions. All of this goes to character. Y'all been walking this fine line of narcissism and delusions of grandeur for far too fucking long. And we are here today to stop that level of madness. That is why a lot of y'all cast carry on the way to carry on, because they see y'all as the example of mess and foolishness. Look at what y'all have done through the years. You want to get mad at us. Girl, please, you're just mad that truth has been revealed. Possible truths have been revealed. Questions of character and integrity have been asked. People wonder. That's the only real reason you're going to try to stand up and say anything, because no one really cares about what people have to say on the lower level. Let's tell the truth. But when multiple people start asking and questioning and it's public, now you have no choice but to stand up for yourself. Even if you're going to tell a bunch of fucking lies. Because that might tank your brand. That might make people question, damn, do I want to continue supporting this? We're already struggling to get over that 100,000 subscriber mark, and most of them are not even half, if not half, 50 to 60% of that 100,000, they're no longer active subscribers. Period. They're no longer active. That's why do you think a lot of these franchises have suffered when it comes to numbers? They don't have the pool they once had prior to COVID and during COVID. Period. The pool is not there anymore. And if we want to tell the truth too, a lot of people are tired of the faggoty shit. If we could just be real about it. Even a lot of the gays I hear, the gays say, girl, we ain't got time for that faggoty shit. A lot of us are older now. And the newer girls are more attracted to Zeus and baddies and whatever the hell they got going on over on there with all that fighting and the Bad Boys Club or whatever, girl. They're more tuned to that. They don't want to see this faggoty bullshit, if we just want to tell the truth. I'm just gonna be real. And the simple fact too, and I hate to be mean like this because I don't want people to think I'm some cunt, but I've said this before and I'll say it again. Girl, we get tired of the femininity of it all. Every time we turn on the franchise, there's a new bitch. There's a girl. There's a WOMAN in our face. Whether trans, androgynous, or just extremely feminine as fuck. The girls get tired of seeing that. We want to see some masculinity cunts. We want to see some elevated cunts. We want to see something different. Because a lot of femininity watches the show. We don't want to see a bunch of femininity on the show. Bring back some of the boys, honey. Tell the truth. Sex sells, whether y'all like to admit it or not. The appeal sells. Opposites attract. Ain't nobody finna sit here and be lusting over some of these women that y'all got on here. Especially if most of us out here are women our damn selves. We want to see the boys. We knew that Kesey wasn't bringing much, but he brought that body. Hello, God. We knew Roberta. Oh, no, my bad, girl. Excuse me. My bad, child. It's girl, force to have it, child. Robert Ray, honey. We wanted a piece. Let's tell the truth. I hate to be like that, but it's the truth. It's the tea. We need relatability. A lot of us are not trans. A lot of us are not androgynous. A lot of us are not extremely feminine like that. Despite popular belief, hello God, because I present very masculine naturally. It's just, when I get into my things, it's the gay comes out. It's just period. Okay, period, girl. I figured he was in on it. He embarrassed. Oh yeah, I read that already. Um, how do they move forward after this? Yikes. And hold on, real quick. Butter Pecan, I do want to just cite this, though. Why be mad that an LGBTQ organization is taking a donation on your behalf? Shouldn't you want to cultivate those relationships with your own kind? Hello, God. Why haven't we seen that connection with Ballroom and all the other avenues of the LGBTQ experience then? These different organizations. Why haven't we? We want to take Marlo's access to the coin, but we don't really want to get fully involved in her communion groups with other trans women and helping people get those services that they need, require, and desire for survival in this life. Right? Why are we going to denounce and try to get away from that kind of level of help? Is it because you feel the way you said you felt about Carl? 40-year-old gay man talking about being a cock goblin? Is it because you think that you're greater than all of us? Is it because that's how she thinks? I guarantee you that's how she thinks. She's great. Look at the way she talks. Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. Real nice, nasty Kardashian voice, bitch. She sounds like Kourtney Kardashian, girl. I can tell you can tell a lot by the way a person carries and how they talk to you, like they're greater than you. And I'm gonna need my motherfucking money too, bitch, because y'all be using my Atlanta. I've been hearing her say that for a while now. Give me my just due, bitch. I even got you saying it with your loose throat ass. Actually, I'm gonna need everybody to cut the check because I gotta start merching all my stuff. It seems like love y'all girls who were inspired. I appreciate it, girl. It lets me know that the doll has impact. Hello, God, an influence in the space, and that y'all love me, and that's your way of showing respect. But I'm gonna start needing a check. Hello, God. I'm gonna need that check written. Actually, I don't even want no checks, girl. Girl, I need cold hard cash, baby. I'll see y'all in Houston though. You can give me. We'll pass around the offering plate. Shout out to Drewski, girl. We're gonna pass out praise God for your life savings. Hello, God. We appreciate you. Yeah, y'all can go ahead and give back. I'll see y'all there in Houston, June 5th through the 7th, baby. Go ahead and just put the money in my pocket as you walk by me. You ain't even got to say nothing. Period. And I will be holding it up to the light in my hotel room later on the night to make sure it's real. And if it's not, I'll be knocking on those doors. Even if I'm interrupting you on your knees, giving pleas to some random trade in Houston. Period. Mm-hmm. Loving life. Hello. How do they move forward after this? Shutting the fuck up and moving on. Produce the product. Nothing else. Nothing less. Nothing more. Get back to work. You want to be P Diddy. You want to be in the videos and shit. Hello, gone. And this is what happened to all of y'all. Y'all want to be seen? Calm your cast members down. Work professionally. Be the example that you need to be professionally. Hello, God. And we won't be here today. I don't want to have these discussions again. I really don't. Yes, they bring viewership. Yes, especially if the video is monetized. Glory, hallelujah. We appreciate when the 21st comes around of each month that our bank accounts, hallelujah, will be reloaded with the funds, girl. We appreciate it. But we really don't even want to go down this road because everyone's going to say, oh, you're tearing down the community. You're tearing down these people, the LGBTQ. No, we're not. We're exposing hypocrisy and fraudulence, fakery, and the fuckery of it all. Period. That's how they move forward, loving life. Being professional, staying out the way, stop being culpable in alleged scamiana behaviors, and you won't be dragged to the carpet of life. Period. Nick says it doesn't seem like Indario was mad at Harvin until Harvin brought that Indario respectfully said privately to the public. It's not respectfully if you're trying to tell someone what they should and shouldn't do. I felt Harviana. Zach's son of cease and desist, but where were you with that situation? Well, on the other hand, it's not like he could have did much because at that point, Zach had already technically had been fired. And on top of that, Mandario didn't have a relationship with Zach like that because he had blasted him in real time during my live interview with him. So at the end of the day, we are allowed to do what we feel we need to do. Whether y'all agree or disagree with Harvin, at the end of the day, that's what y'all gave us to work with, baby. And when we feel like, because at the time, Harvin admitted that he felt like the reason he did is because he felt like Zach was connected to him. He really felt that way. But then when he dragged it to hell, then you're being told to stop because this implicates them as well. Well, why would you be worried if you had nothing to gain from it? Why would you be worried if you had no hand in it? Why? You were happy when we were doing the investigation for you on that live legendary Kiki panel, correct? You were with all the shits and giggles then, right? Oh, but what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. Oh, okay, I see. Because it paints you in a bad light. We've already discussed your horrible example of being a leader and a boss and CEO. You suck. You really do suck. Your history proves that you suck. From the very moment of foolishness between you and Kevon Burns, from that first season of Chasing Atlanta, that debacle with Kevon Burns, your partner, your associate, someone who just decided not to fight no more. And other things that you've been involved with throughout your journey here in this space. Call into question your morality, your character, and your integrity. And then get surprised when people drag you through the streets of life. Mm-hmm. What's up, Jace? How you doing? Hello, me, no Zeus, though. Period. We've grown with these platforms. We've been there and done that with these platforms. A lot of us, like myself, are burnt the fuck out. Nothing has really changed. Your quality might have improved so much, and it looks grade A, like it belongs on Bravo or VH1, right? But the concept is still the same. The foolishness is still the same. A lot of the stuff is still the same. Some of us just continue to support because some of our homegirls are part of the brand. Some of us still support because our supporters want us to be involved and they watch it or they want our perspectives on it. Okay? Do the boys want to come? Probably not. Because a lot of more masculine presenting people, whether out or not, and I see this even a lot without masculine presenting men in the gay community, they're just not with they don't like faggotry. And I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. Even myself, I don't do faggoty and behavior. I don't do these queen cunts running around here snapping fingers and trying to be cunty and all be messy. You'll get punched in the throat, girl. A lot of y'all through the years, oh, you'd be good for a web series. No, I wouldn't, because I don't play none of that fake shit. Some of these hoes will be sent to the hospital. I don't play around like all that faggot shit. I don't play that shit, bro. It's that punk behavior. A lot of us out here don't play that, bro. We're not here to play games with y'all. You disrespect me. It's none of this holding me back and we're going to create a scene in this restaurant. Like all that shit that went down in G Status at that hibachi grill, I would have folded every last hole on that grill. Every last bitch would have had grill marks on their back. Smelling like sesame oil, bitch. Hello, God. Every bitch will be leaving with a piece of egg and shrimp and a beautifully tenderized, juicy steak, girl, all over their back. Pocket full of rice, bitch. Playing with me. We're not doing none of this for TV shit. We're not doing none of this for a moment in time. No, you finna get the real version of me through and through. Trust me, there's few cunts like me who I am, whether I'm online or not. Now, I'm do give a little extra.com because, you know, no one likes a boring bitch. But 10 out of 10, I am who I am in real life here. If y'all ever meet me in person, you'll be like, oh, well. Now I'm a little bit more quiet and reserved in person. Hello, God. But I'm still the same bitch. What did little Kim say, honey? I'm the same bitch on the escalator. And I still ain't got no time. And I still ain't got no time for you fucking haters. I know y'all don't want to see Kim on top. Why the fuck y'all worry about what I got? What the fuck y'all know about the Yonka Rock? When I'm cooking, keep your hands out my pot. Ain't no bitch bad. Ain't no bitch braider. Stop trying to use me as a respirator. Hello, God. Shout out to the queen. Whenever there is a masculine presenting cast member, he's always sexualized. That's true. Remember, before we found out that boy was a queen on this upcoming season of Atlanta, girl, he was getting all the love. But when we saw him in that trailer, I was, oh, that's a girl. That's a WOMAN, honey. Lost favor immediately. Because I'm tired of seeing queens. I'm tired of seeing some wrist-breaking ass, purse-wearing ass bitches, some wig-wearing, mustache-having, goatee-having ass, Gandalf goatee with a wig, bitch, and press and curl. That's not my experience. I don't relate to that. I love y'all, and I love y'all for loving yourselves out loud enough. But at the end of the day, when we want to talk about these shows were created for representation of an entire community, you're only representing a subsection of our community. That doesn't represent all of us. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Seems rather shallow if these shows are supposed to be uplifting and deep. Very true. So the live you did with Damon, right? I gotta go look at that again, child. Let me get my notebook. No, the live that the Kiki panel did, where Damon and Dario and Zach were a part of, where all of us, me, Chloe, Harviana, a bunch of other, I think even was Dre Simber on there? I forget. A bunch of people were on there. It's one of the first lives we did breaking down the sponsorship and the girls trying to put this all on Zach. It's on Harviana's platform. I totally agree. They end up sexualized, and it's like a mission to have them. I mean, hey, because the girls, they hunger. Hell, God, they thirst for more because that's not something that we get a lot. If that was something that was exposed more of, then it would become nothing to witness these masculine men relishing on these shows. We would not be lusting for them if there was something that we got a chance to see more of. It's and I understand that it's really like if these guys choose to do it or not. But my thing is, people will actually fuck with you if they look at your brand and they say, oh, this kind of aligns with what I can do. But if you guys are messy, knowing that a lot of masculine presenting gay men don't like mess, they don't like drama and all that foolishness. Now they'll get into the things, but it's not something that they want it to be solely about. So if I'm a masculine presenting gay man who doesn't like all of that, and you approach me to be a part of your show, but then I go and do my research on your show, I'm not going to feel comfortable to want to be aligned with that at all. A lot of more masculine presenting people don't have time to be played with, bro. That's just the truth. They're not here. See, if we want to be honest here, the real extreme femininity girls, these trans girls, the androgynous people, if you look at them, you see somebody who, oh, okay, you like the spotlight and you'll do anything for it. You're going to carry on like a Nene Leakes, a Kenya Moore, or a Quad Lunsford, right? You're delusional. 9 times out of 10, those people are more delusional. That's just what that is. More masculine, calmer presenting men in this space are not delusional on that level. They don't care for having that soundbite that's going to play forever in the minds of people. They don't care to be showing up in the best of the dressed and being that girl or being that cunt or whatever. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. It's not about image to them, really. It's more about integrity and character. It's more about getting what they can get from a situation that's going to benefit them, especially on a financial level. So if they saw that these production companies were making shows that cater to more of what they're aligned with or what they'll be attracted to versus some messy ass delusional cunt situation, I guarantee you that lust for the masculine presenting gay man won't exist on that level. I'm just telling the truth, girl. That may sound harsh, but I'm just telling the truth. I'm sorry. Um, wait, what's the issue with YB and Carl? There's no issue with us. We're good. We have no issue that I'm aware of. The only thing that I brought up that I think is feasible and I think more people would agree with than not. And again, whether I know these people or not, or I fuck with them or not, they know I'm going to be honest. I don't think Carl would have a problem with that. I said it in a comment on Harvey on his live the other day while Carl was up there present. You guys sacrificed a lot of, you know, those bumps and bruises that y'all keep speaking of and how you're going to keep rolling with the punches. That's great. And I admire your ingenuity and diving into adversity. And that's great. But let's tell the truth. There was a time crunch because you needed to align yourself with Chasing Atlanta to gain their aura of followers and things of that nature. Correct? At least from the outside looking in, that's how it looks. JT also explicitly said she's utilizing Scotty and Bando's situation and the alignment with chasing Atlanta to get the things needed, required, and desired of the numbers, the clout, all the things, right? So you when you should have been taking your time on your first season. That way, there's too many bumps and bruises, too many mistakes have been made. And by y'all openly admitting that you were in a time crunch to get to this place with Atlanta, and at the end of the day, you didn't get nothing from them because they only shared your trailer 1 month ago. They haven't shared anything else from you guys, from my knowledge, at least on their YouTube platform. So take your time, do what you have to do. That way you don't have people like myself calling out your product. Period. I don't think Carl would have an issue with that. For years, Carl has known me to be very real and honest about my belief systems, how I feel and review these shows. And mostly, and I know they get angry when we talk about production. I know JT specifically, and Carl has mentioned they don't like when people talk about production. When your production has bled off into your show and it's the main reason why the show is lackluster, we have no choice but to have that conversation. So instead of people getting upset and mad, they need to take heed to what people are saying and apply that for the future if they want to see their shit be successful, period. So to answer your question again, there should be no issue with me and Carl. I have no tea, no shade. There's nothing there. No, I even told him we'll have our own conversation because I do plan on interviewing all of them at some point or another. Actually, I planned on all of them being my second interview of the year. The first one will be Markel and Robert, and my second interviews were going to be with the cast of the Scene ATL. I was going to reach out to them very soon to have that going on. So if there is some issues there, Carl's a real one. One thing I've always respected about him, if he has an issue with what I've been saying or my thoughts and perspectives on it, he can bring it there. Or, I think we still have each other's phone numbers. He can call me. But for me, though, it's no tea, no shade. I have to agree about how Chloe was treated over the donation. Yeah, and even before that, though, if I'm a fly on a wall, girl, and I'm sitting around looking at how people are being treated, like the way Dario treats other people as if they're nothing. Like, girl, like she's one of those cunts that go to those upper echelon restaurants and treat the wait staff like trash. Girl, act like you've been somewhere, bitch. So you think Dario should not have asked Harvey on at all? I think Dario should have just shut the fuck up and done what she needed to do from the beginning. Things that I've been yelling about. We had it out a couple years ago. The girls got mad at me. Shout out to Markel, honey. We've been there and done that. We've buried the hatchet. We're good now. But if we're gonna be real, we got to talk about that time period. I was going to fuck in. And I was very displeased with that season. And I was very displeased with Dario, and I went off on their ass. One of the things that I was going off on was the whole like Reese G of it all, and all when, especially when all that stuff came out. Like there was a bunch of stuff happening. I can't remember every single thing, but I just remember what my arguments have always been. You can go down my videos from the past. People have even sent me my own receipts, girl, of me voicing my opinions about these platforms and the way that they're being ran. One thing I've always said consistently is the lack of professionalism. You have these leaks in the building because you're not professional. You have these leaks in the building because look at how you treat people. Not all of these people are wrong. I may not fuck with Oliver or Q or Reese like that, but they're not wrong either. We wanted to believe Andario in them, right? When it came out that we needed to be against Reese. So why can't the same be said later on when we discover that, hold on, really think about it and put our critical thinking hat on? Girl, you're the problem too. You're actually the center of the problem. You know? So if Andario just walked in professionalism, they would have never had the issue with Harviana, never would have had the issue with me, never would have had the issue with anybody. Keep it moving. Focus on the work. Be professional. And this excuse that, oh, I'm just coming out to defend myself because all of these people keep coming down on me. Girl, it is what it is. When you're the best at what you do, when you're the best, when you're the top number one girl, there's going to be a lot of foolishness that comes your way, whether true or not, whether warranted or not. That's just what comes with it, girl. Period. Should the flame feel bad for burning the moth because it was attracted to it? Let's tell the truth. Period. Did that even make sense? Girl. A, it sounded more like Andaria was coming to Harvin as someone he has a rapport with to ask him respectfully rather than coming to Harvin as a boss to tell him what to do. Two things I explained earlier. The way in which he actually came at him was different than how he said it on live. That's why I feel like Harviana said and did what she needed to do. The way it was said was more so like, oh, now that this has something to do with me, I could get in trouble for this. That would make anyone believe like, oh, but now you want to get on the live and you want to say something different about you taking care of it. That wasn't the truth. Mm-hmm. And then you can't come to us and because you may have favor with us and then ask us to dial it back on something that we have been doing. Again, I'm going to reiterate, at one point or another, you were happy, or at least you seemed happy, that we were getting down to the bottom of it. You were okay with all of this coming out before. But now that someone went a little bit further, come on now. Let's not act like, we haven't lived in this YouTube space long enough to look back on a lot of people that were doing some real fact checking. Okay? I think what it is these girls are scared to go to prison. They're scared to be, looked at the IRS. They're scared of something. And again, even if they're not, the sole fact that y'all have dealt in impropriety and foolishness and toxicity through the years, people are just going to question you regardless of everything you do. You all brought this on yourselves. And the time to go off on Andaria would have been when he publicly commanded Harvey to end that live several weeks ago, not when he respectfully and privately asked to stay out of a situation. I think I stated earlier, I do agree. The way I move, I don't expect others to move. I do believe that people have the ability to move how they see fit. I would have dealt with that. If I'm building a relationship with someone, yes, we would have had a private conversation first. That way we can get some clarity before I actually get on here and read you for filth. But at the end of the day, we don't know the depth and breadth of what that was looking like to cause Harviana to just lose her shit the way that she did and to go off on the girls. Oh my God, sesame oil is so strong. That would be horrible. It is interesting that nobody knows what the letter said that Andaria wrote. All we know is that it was edited. That's all we know. And usually those letters consist of like why you're deserving, what you plan on doing with this money, how would the company that's sponsoring it benefit from this sponsorship, like those are the basics that I think were involved in there. But for me, I always brought into question, why was it edited? And someone yelled out a long time ago that probably because there was a certain thing that needed to be in there in order to get the approval. But I'm thinking on the scamming level, girl, y'all know y'all made copies of the original, and you probably reached out to several other businesses for sponsorships utilizing the same letter. And that's probably what happened. But then again, well, do we know? Do we care? Not really. At the end of the day. What's up, Kyle? How are you? Hey, YB, did you see the men at the Bad Boys audition? They said it was it. Honey, I saw the clips on TikTok and they was whooping the hell out of each other. And I don't know why we do that to ourselves. I don't know why any of these people do this to ourselves. That's crazy work to me. If they want to be fools and buffoons for no money and no credits in a show, then I guess, girl. But let me tell y'all something. Y'all gonna get fucked up one day. Cause y'all punks out here who think y'all can really battle it down like that, with that, y'all fight like women. You gonna run up across one of someone like me who gonna box your ass down like a nigga. All that woman shit and that dragon and that windmill and shit. I will break your arms off and beat you with your own legs. I don't have time for that. Don't play with me. I don't like to see punks fight because y'all just a bunch of women fighting. The only punk who the only no, my bad. Let me show him some respect. Was Jonathan. Jonathan was the only one. I think he's in jail now or some shit, right? Prison or something, girl. Jonathan was the only one that I saw who will go toe to toe like a man. I'm not finna fight no group of punks, girl. I'm finna go to jail for wearing y'all out like a man, girl. Please. I'm tired of seeing punk faggotry on my screen, to be honest with you. If you can't tell, I'm already over it. Yeah, I do find it interesting that a cis woman made it into the show before a lesbian woman or a trans man. No love for the female born sector of the LGBT community. Girl, for all we know, remember that mess that was revealed in that trailer about her man allegedly being down low and fucking for places to stay or whatever that was. Obviously, y'all love that. Y'all are attracted to that. So I think her storyline and her situation shit with her man might have propelled her to be more interesting for the show. And I'm not mad at that dynamic either. On other platforms, we've seen trans men, we've seen, lesbians. I think there's a whole lesbian show that was, I forgot the name of that one, but I'm not mad at it. Ugh. Let's just have black gay represented. Who cares if they masculine or feminine? I care. I'm tired of seeing all these sissies. I'm tired of seeing all these bitches doing death drops and shit. I'm tired of seeing all these sissies with goatees and pressed hair and heels and I'm tired of that. And I'm just being real with you. We've already shown a great disrespect to trans women in these web spaces, and we're definitely going to show a great disrespect. Well, not me, but I'm saying that's just how the cookie crumbles. A great disrespect to a lot of these sissies out here too. It's just the truth. Me personally, and I feel like that's been the tag lately. If we've noticed across all platforms, there's been this rundown. I'm like, girl, I'm so sick of it. Ever since Devon from Chasing Atlanta season 1 was bullied by Lauren England talking about you was a catfish. Remember, that was catfish gate for that whole season pretty much. Tried to rip that boy up because he wanted to present more masculine and feminine. Ever since that moment, the girls have been transitioning all of these platforms into more feminine friendly situations. That's not a full-on representation of our community. And no, I am not out here spreading feminine hate. I'm very feminine myself when I want to be. I live for it, but it's not a representation of all of us in the community. Every franchise, if you look back the past several years, even the boys want to dress like women. Everybody's a woman, 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 woman. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of seeing that shit. We all don't conduct ourselves in that way, especially for platforms that claim to be aimed at representation for the LGBTQ plus community. Not all of us are like that. That's all I'm saying. YB, mess is mess. There's a lot of masculine presenting gays that are messy as fucking. In your words, let's tell the truth. I don't know any. I don't associate with any. I would never know, to be honest with you. Every messy bitch that I always see is very feminine, very sissy, very faggoty, and that's just the tea. That's just the tea. I'm not trying to be offensive here. I'm speaking what's considered to be my truth based on my experience and based on things that I've observed, especially in this space. Men, period, masculinity has their own set of mess. But it's more so rooted in a more justified situation versus someone just wanting the limelight for something. You put a camera and a tripod in front of a bitch with a wig and some damn heels on, girl, and out here trying to become the fish of the life, honey. They're gonna put on extra.com for that camera versus that masculine presenting male. That's just me. That's what I've seen. Then that's what I'm saying. It kind of gives when straight people say that they're okay with gay people as long as they're not the flamboyant gay kind. Mm. Look here, baby. I can take things in doses. I got a couple. Two of my best friends are the feminine queens on that level. And most of the people I associate with, especially in this space, are very feminine. But let me tell y'all, that's not my whole existence or experience. I don't like to be around them, but and they're not like. There's a difference. Okay, I don't want to say femininity. Maybe I should have talked more about the punkish kind of behavior. But it's linked to people who look like that. If I'm going to be honest with you, more so than not. I don't mind the flamboyant. I don't mind. Give the in doses though, girl. Every time we cut on the channel, that's what it is. There's a bunch of queens cackling and hackling. We already got to deal with bitches like Quad Lunsford, Nene Leakes, Kenya Morhor, and Marlo Hampton, and all these other women portraying the identity and personality traits of a gay man. Now, when we've already been drained with that from that perspective, now we get all that's flooded in our community, in our space. Over it. I think they rolled out, but this is season and when everyone's season one looks to be. What's up, Tabby? How you doing? What's up, Abby? How you doing? I'm listening while I'm working. What's up, Abby? I just don't like the AI thumbnails. AI in general turns a lot of people off, and it seems kind of lazy to me. Um, I saw someone mention that before. I mean, look here. I said a lot of things about the scene ATL, but I will say this. Everybody has their burdens. Everybody has their things that they learn and grow from. I truly do believe that their season 2, if that comes to fruition, will be much better than season 1, just based on the in real time progress that they've been making throughout this season that they have right now. I can see the future, and knowing is half the battle. Amen. Hello, God. And when we finally get to that point, I feel like it's going to be everything needed, required, and desired. I think that, again, they just rather had sacrificed that level of quality because they were on a time crunch to meet the deadline to be associated and aligned perfectly with chasing Atlanta. And let's be honest here, that all that shit between Scotty and Bando, bitches is tired of that. We was tired of that months ago. Y'all brought it back to life within this show. So they needed to hurry up and put that out there, because if this would have went on to this year, no one would have gave a damn. We would have been over the whole Scotty and Bando conversation. Ooh, that interview with the Colemans is going to be good. Thank you. Yes, it is. I am just confused, and like Harviana, one of the reasons he said he called was to help Andario get his money. But if Andario says he doesn't want his help, why is that wrong? You wanted our help in the beginning, though. You welcomed it in the beginning, right? And then you turn around and say, "Don't worry about it, because this may implicate me in some way." Why are you worried? And why does it even matter anymore? You're again, what was good, what was good for the goose is not good for the gander, girl. Like, you can't get away, girl. Back away. Thank you. Sorry, y'all. The cats are just working my nerves. OYB, I've put all of your videos in a playlist and I've been binge watching them from the beginning. Oh, thank you. Calling pineapple isn't helping Dario, nor does it reveal any fraud since we don't know what the letter said and how it wound up with Demond. At the end of the day, now I'm not, this isn't to you, but I just want to let everyone know. Y'all was with the shits, right? When the phone call was made. Y'all, all the y'all, hello God, even if it isn't y'all, it's y'all. I'm not speaking to one particular person. I'm speaking to everybody in the chat today. Everybody was with the shits when it was happening, right? When we pulled a rabbit out of a hat because we had nothing of substance or real to bring out for that whole season of Orlando. It was good for the moment, right? It was good to be one of the most legendary lives of 2025, right? But it ain't good now because boss and CEO wants Harvey to cease and desist her efforts into Pineapple Healthcare. And I'm not going to speak for my chat, but I know most of y'all gravitate to Harviana's platform as well. A lot of y'all have found me by way of Harviana as well. In the moment, a lot of y'all, not y'all, but y'all, were going up for the phone call. Correct? Correct. Okay. Hello, God. Thank you, the Bougiste. I appreciate you, baby. If the show creators of Game of Thrones could handle the whole country dragging their season 8, then surely the producers of the web reality shows can handle a few comments. They can't because this is what they're restricted to. They don't have millions of viewers. When you get to that point, you don't care what people say about you, but you care because everything is in close proximity. Everybody is within reach. It's a very small community that we have, believe it or not. It isn't wrong, and I don't think Dario was wrong in his particular situation. Was it a Google Doc? Because I think you can view version history if it's edited unless a copy was made. I don't know. No, we don't care. That's why it's confusing how it went so left. Cocoa Butter Barbie, honey, how can you ask someone to stay out of something you put them in? Period. Wasn't she feeding her the tea? Hello? Wasn't she feeding her the tea when it benefited her to direct the path against Zach? Let's tell the truth. Oh, but now that eyes have seen glory, hallelujah. Oh, now you looking at me. I need you to stop looking at me. And because we're so-called friends and homegirls, I'm gonna try to use that to my advantage. No, girl. Period. They gave Harvey information to us to ask the questions about the money on the live when the blame was pointing to Zach. Amen. Thank you very much. I made that point early on in this live, people. Shout out to Miss Cocoa Butter Barbie, honey. All of this is odd. It's very odd. And again, mother, we wouldn't be here if these girls moved accordingly from the jump. The main reason that I was blackballed years ago, the main reason the girls found me to be a disgruntled cunt, because I believe in truth prevailing, right? If we move accordingly, we don't have nothing to worry about. Amen. Come on, hoochie daddies. I know plenty masked men that are messy. You're in New York, baby. That's big up there. We don't play a lot of that down here. You know, the up north gays are a whole different breed. We talked about that before. We talked about that before. That New York scene is something totally different, baby. Maybe it's because I am old and slow. If I'm windmilling for someone and they ask me to stop, I would save my energy. No, I hear what you're saying. I really do. But like I said before, not y'all, but y'all was living for it, gassing it up. Hello, God. And a lot of us moved to the beat of what our supporters be wanting from us. So again, it was good in the moment, but now all of a sudden it's not anymore. Wow. That's very telling. Marquise was masculine and straight. Now apparently, and his nickname was literally Chef Messy. Well, I gave him the nickname Chef Messy. I sure did. Definitely a little masculine. Now he's found Christ and he's been delivered from homosexuality. I guess. What's up, KKLM? Just listening. How you doing, baby? But yeah, child. Um, a disgruntled non-employee. Hello, God. But yeah, y'all, that's pretty much all I really have. I gotta get ready for work soon. I gotta try to get me a nap in real quick. I'm really tired. Make sure y'all catching that last video I uploaded yesterday. Um, it was funny, it was good, but it kind of gives you a little insight of what I've been dealing with lately. So please support that video. I appreciate you guys. Again, I will be making the announcements once I finalize everything for the interviews coming up. That way we can get into those things. Because uh, this time of completion for my apartment is going to be taking longer than usual. I may end up having to cancel my little situation. I may not have to, but I probably will. I don't know yet. Or I might just move it to my house because, bitch, I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I really hope the things that were said here today brought some level of clarity and understanding to a lot of this debacle and stuff. This is the last time I'll be speaking on this. The only real reason I did is because a lot of people were, giving me my things and talking about how I was right, wanting my position on the matter, and also too just to have my homegirls back in a way. Again, I had to say some very real truths in here that I'm sure she'll appreciate. But we all live and we all learn. And I feel like she deserves a little bit of grace. And again, it says a lot about a person that's willing to come up here and, know when they need to just, adjust their thought process and see the forest through the trees. And yeah, Miss Moose Carcass has a long history, girl, of using. And when you're not a genuine person, you try to utilize your relationships with people to be a mouthpiece and a voice for you on all things to push narratives. And those people finally wake up and decide that that's not who they're going to be anymore. Let's not distract ourselves from that very real truth. Um, Now we know, now we are free. Okay. I do want to give this advice to all people: befriend who you want, love who you want, be surrounded by who you want. But you need to be really thinking to yourselves: do these people really love me? Are they here for me? And if you're in the positions that we're in as commentators, you will know exactly where your relationship stands with these people based on how you talk about their product or them. Um, are you going to get that same reception? Are they going to still be your friend? Are they still going to communicate with you when you may have an unpopular opinion or a piece of commentary that might go against them or draw them into questionable, scenarios, as we've seen within Dario? And I think that we have to respect commentators like myself and Harviana, the people that are willing to come on here and admit these things and be truthful and transparent. That is all that we've ever asked from a lot of these platform owners and creators. And a lot of times we don't get that from them. And so my advice to everybody is treat people with a long handled spoon. Love yourself enough to know that you're going to be leading with truth and justice. And we have platforms that we have to protect. Our people are going to be able to know when we're being one-sided or we're being courted based on relationships with people instead of being honest and truthful. And again, I can always appreciate a bitch that's able, like Harviana, to come out and be honest about that, no matter how it may make a person look. No matter how y'all judge her, I judge the character of the person being able to say, "Hey, you know what? I was wrong, and let's turn the tables on these hoes." Period. And I think that says a lot about who these people are at the end of the day, when they try to utilize that relationship to get what they really want out of people. Um, I will say this. This is how y'all know I'm just a very unbiased individual. I'm very real and upfront. I will say, like I said a couple times earlier, I do agree that maybe there should have been a private conversation to interpret what things were meant for. And then based on how that interaction went, then do what you need to do. But at the end of the day, we, even myself, don't know the depth and breadth of what was actually said behind closed doors to charge the doll up to do what she did. Okay? And it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully, Moose Carcass can, take all of that with stride. I highly doubt she will, um, because it just goes to the person that she's always been. Um, it is what it is, though. But shout out to Chasing Atlanta premiering soon. I think they're having their premiere party next week sometime. The show premieres at the latter end of the month. Later end of the month, sorry. So yeah, from what I know as of right now, the Kiki panel, we will be in full force and we will be delivering truth and justice and reviewing the platform. I will also be doing my individual reviews as well, whether pre-recorded or live. So please be on the lookout for all the things. My birthday is Monday, bitch. Period. Hello, God. The doll is turning 38. Oh my God, saying that out loud really makes me sound old as fuck. But yes, honey, my birthday is Monday. I will be going live. I will require all of you to dig in your purse. All of you that have those purses out, honey. Okay, girl, please. Um, Actually, no, I will say this. Because my apartment is getting a much needed facelift, I have decided to pretty much throw everything out. Um, I'm going to be getting new stuff. So any donations made moving forward will be put towards new furniture, new everything, girl. That way I ain't got to spend all my tax money. Girl, let me reach out to Platypus and Marla, girl, and get me a nasty piece of 12,000. That way I can go ahead and get me a new everything, girl. Period. And put a cute little big payment on my car. Girl, please fill the fridge up, girl. Hello, God. New couch, new bed, new things, new TV, girl. We're going to have this thing decked out, girl. So, yes, period. So, yeah, have those wallets, have those coins ready, girl. And I'm just playing. Well, shoot, I'd appreciate it. Hell. God. Yeah, child. I don't really have any plans this weekend. I have plans, but I don't even know if I want to follow through with those plans yet because, child, I'm over it. I'm off all next week, so maybe I'll just save my energy for then. But then again, the power of Hodem, that pull is very strong. It's a strong pull, girl. That gravitational pull to some dick and some puss, girl, will have you going crazy, okay? Period. And a good old throw guy. To end your hard working week, child, ain't never hurt nobody, period, okay? Hella God. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to come out here and give a little 1, 2, 3, 4, hello God. And say what I needed to say, get it all out. This again will be the last time this is ever brought up because I don't care. These girls will be okay. Again, my message stands. I just want these girls to be more professional, blend into the background of life, girl. And yeah, you won't have nothing to worry about. Okay. All right, y'all. I might do a video tomorrow, and I probably will be live Saturday or Sunday. Cause yeah, I got to get back to work over here. Cause honey, I can't keep allowing these other people over here to drain my energy and get me pushed out of the algorithm. Cause girl, no, we were doing our thing the past several months, and I want to keep the momentum going. Okay, period. Voting. The link will be provided tomorrow for the Starry Awards for Houston, June 5th through 7th. So tomorrow is when voting opens. So the 16th Once that information is given out, I will share it with everybody. That way we can get to the votes. Okay, I believe voting ends. Is it April? I forget. But again, when that information is made available tomorrow, I will bring it to you guys. Um, so you can vote for your favorite content creators in their categories. Okay. Um, and I have a plan to win. I'm going to need y'all to, when I share the link, if you have kids, friends, family members, especially if you live with these people or your coworkers, even if they don't know who I am, share the link with them, grab their phone, hello God, and you vote from their phone too. And you do that to everybody you know. I'm winning, bitch. I'm winning. I know I'm up against some heavy hitters and I appreciate it, but I'm winning. If I'm coming all the way to Houston, I'm winning. So all of my supporters and the girls that are just finding me, if you love me, hello God, you will vote for me. So when I share that link, you will vote for me and the Kiki panel. Because Kiki panel has also been nominated for an award as well. So use your friends, your children, even if you have to use that ghost phone that you don't want your husband or wife to find out about, girl. I'm gonna make sure that link, and I know people are going, oh, that's stacking the deck. I don't care. We're winning by any means necessary. I got a few phones I got too. I'm gonna vote for myself 10 times if I can. I'm gonna tell my brother, hello God, he gonna tell his friends, I'm gonna tell my nephew, he gonna tell his friends. I don't care, they don't need to know any information. You just need to send them a link, grab their phone, and do the vote yourself. Period. We're winning. Thank you, D. I appreciate it. Thank you. Ooh, I can't see my phone. Mernice, forgive me if I messed that up, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mother. Yes, I got tonight and tomorrow night. Then my time off begins. Okay. See, the girls that know how to take it, girl. My supervisor was a little evil with me because he was like, "You're taking time off again." He was like, "How was that possible?" I said, "Baby, you got to know how to work the PTO, honey. Prepare the others, bitch. You have to schedule your PTO around holidays because we already get paid for holidays. We don't have to use our PTO to take off holidays. So what I do is I'm already off on weekends, right? So, like for instance, for Christmas and New Year's, um, I took off the Friday after Christmas. I already had Christmas off. So that gives me 2 days. I'm already off the weekend. So that's 4 days. I turned one day into 4 days. Hello, God. For New Year's, I did the same thing. I took the day off before. I'm already off the day of, and I took the day after. So I took 2 days and turned it into 5 days. The same thing that I did now with my birthday. Martin Luther King Day is on my birthday. That's a natural holiday. I'm already off the weekend before. Hello, God. So I was able to turn 4 days into 9 days. And my supervisor's like, oh my God, they won't even approve for me nothing. I said, girl, you're not smart. You gotta get into tea, honey. You gotta know how to prepare the others. That's what PTO is for. Okay? Period. Please tag the Harvey on Alive. I can't find it. I think I did share it though. Where's my other phone? Man, where's my other phone at? Oh, here it is. Let me see real quick. Mm-hmm. Let me go to my platform. Mm-hmm. Um, Let me see. Is it on here? Okay, I don't think it's here. Let me go to Harvey on his page. Let me go to that live. Oh no. Harvey on a bitch. I know you didn't take it off. Girl. Harvin, you took it off. The live is gone. Or she probably made it members only, but I can't see it. It's gone. The last live I'm able to look at was 11 days ago. Oh, wow. It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. Never mind, y'all. Maybe if you're a member, you might be able to see it, but it would still be in the queue, though. It would just be marked members only. It's gone. She probably privated it. So send Harviana a message, see if she still has it. I know she's on vacation right now, but send her a DM and ask her if she still has it. If she privated it, she can send it to you privately, send you a private link to watch it. But yeah, I'm not seeing any other live on here past 11 days ago. Yeah, she got rid of it or she privatized it. My bad, y'all. My bad. Yeah, it's not here. I can't see it. Sorry, guys. Sorry, the bougiest. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here. I gotta go. I gotta take a shower and get myself ready and lay my ass down. I appreciate y'all for showing up and showing out. Thank you so much. I'll try to. I'm not gonna bother Harvey while she's on vacation. The girl's in Mexico, honey, getting her absolute life. We'll talk at a later time to see what was going on with this live because it's gone. I didn't even know that. Hold on. Is it members only? No, it's not here. Yeah, it's gone. It's not on the platform anymore. Okay. Well, sorry about that, guys. I didn't know it was gone. But all right. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in again. And until the next video, guys, y'all be blessed and never stressed. And remember that health is truly wealth. And yeah, take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll get into some more things as the weekend, gets a little closer, honey. Okay. Period. All right, y'all. Bye.